seems to be a misconception that if you are functioning in the higher levels, that the lower levels will not show up. And what I've found is if you deny that because you have achieved some degree of enlightenment and therefore you're not going to get angry anymore or jealous or use derogatory vulgar language, you've got a misconception of what happens. In the elevated state, you can be there for a long, long time. And you may leave. You may just leave this world and be gone. Because to be in this world, one has to interact with this world. And this world is so far from a reasonably high level of consciousness that it's shocking to be in it. And sometimes our bodily actions and what comes out of our mouth certainly doesn't seem like it belongs with somebody who's walking in a higher spiritual state. But whatever is bubbling up in the being is going to come out. And if we deny those lower states, quote unquote lower states, kind of relative, what will happen is you'll start to walk around in a disassociated place. You'll be disassociated from life and from what's going on in it. And I've seen this in hundreds of people who had prayed for breakthroughs of enlightenment coming into their life and had an intention to walk in enlightenment, and when they were starting to get it, then they stopped giving time, I guess. They stopped giving time in their life's walk to anything that didn't look like a spiritual function. And what happens then is you just become very disassociated, because there's many, many things in your life that need to bubble up so that you get a chance to deal with them, and you stop bubbling up and you become disassociated. That probably needs a lot more clarification. But yeah. I know what it meant. Now the problem is to be able to express it so other people say, oh, now I understand what Don's talking about.
Well, I think I do understand what you're talking about, because I was recently reading from another author, Thomas Keating, and he was talking about something very, very similar, and it's something that I've experienced as well. For me, where I've had this one of my motivations in deepening my own spiritual work and path, at least for a while it helped pull me forward, was the hopes of being saved from everyday difficulties. And that, when this idea, which is an ideal which a lot of my own spiritual teachers seem to show, is that once you achieve a certain level of spiritual awareness, that you don't have to deal with these things anymore. And basically Keating says very clearly that's a trap, that's not true. Expect to live your life. And I have to tell you, apart from Keating, you're the only other one that teaches that, and I'm finding it's radical humility. And on the one hand, instead of finding it discouraging, I actually find it a lot of solace in that, because I know what those higher levels of consciousness feel like, and they feel a lot better when I'm in a good place than when I'm in a place. But I'll continue to come up. Guilt, sadness, grief, all kinds of emotions continue. I continue to experience them, and it's heartening to know that that's normal.
Yes. It's to use another word, the word functional. A group of friends and myself explored what a functional level of consciousness is a few years ago. And as you've just shared with me, sometimes your functional level can be quite high. And you said that you understood what some of those higher levels feel like to walk in. My word, walk in. And also, having had an intention to walk in enlightenment, having done spiritual work and turning over resentment and anger and hate countless thousands of times, because that is the path, it's okay to feel angry.